And I'm Melissa.
And we're here to introduce you to Disney's Jungle Cruise The Adventure Game. It's designed by Prospero Hall and published by Ravensburger. This game plays 2 to 4 players in about 45 minutes to an hour and is available on Amazon, and a parks exclusive version will be available at the Disney parks when they reopen, all for $29.99. Welcome to the world famous Jungle Cruise. You've been hired to transport a boatload of cargo and passengers down the river to Jungle Navigation Company headquarters. There, Company President Alberta Falls will appoint one family of passengers as temporary caretakers and your new bosses, while she goes on a much needed sabbatical. Be prepared to lose passengers and cargo to the dangers hidden in the jungle, but don't worry, you'll find more along the way. Find clues along the river to see which family Alberta has chosen. Transport the most valuable boatload of cargo and passengers to the headquarters to win. So we've got the game set up here. Some of the things you have to do before setup is set these cargo tokens on the outposts. There are 4 outposts in the game, and when you reach those with your boat mover, you will have to stop and you can select to choose a piece of cargo. There are also 4 letters throughout the game. Each of those have one of the family's symbols on the other side. The first 3 letters will let you know which families are not chosen by Alberta to be the caretakers. The last letter, which is at the finish line, will be the family that is chosen. The reason that's important is that you get more points for having that family on your boat, and that will be kind of a multiplier towards your score at the end of the game. So we each also have specialty cards. I am the ferry specialty. So what that does is it allows me to, when stopping at an outpost, I get a special power. I can take a cargo and rescue a lost passenger. We'll go over what that means a little bit later. We each also have a warning flare. Warning flares can be used to avoid some peril when you go through navigation. And when you use a warning flare, you flip it over, and then you can reload it when you reach your next outpost. So we're going to kind of jump right in and go ahead and take our turns. First thing you want to do is you can rearrange the load on your boat in any way you want to. Melissa and I have already set up our load kind of how we like it just to start with, but in the future when we lose passengers or gain cargo, we may want to rearrange that just to make it easier to gain points at the end. So the first thing we're going to do, the first player is the person who's most recently told a joke. I'm kind of the jokester in the group, so I'm going to go ahead and go first. And the first thing I'll do is roll this speed die. So speed die contains numbers 1 through 4, and that is how many spaces I'm going to move along the river. So I rolled a 2. So I will be moving 2 spaces. I am playing as the yellow boat today. That is the Sankuru Sadie.
And I'm the Congo Queen.
So after you roll your boat and move for speed, because I landed on a space that is not an outpost or a clue, I can take a lost and found token. I have nowhere to put it right now, so I'm not going to use that. And then I draw navigation cards. So you always draw 4 cards from the top of the deck, and then you can resolve these in any order. These cards all have a name, their danger level. In the notes section is a joke. This one is dense bamboo, and it says, "Steal your nerves because up ahead is the scariest plant in the jungle." That's right, bamboo. And it also shows you what section of your ship will take damage if you roll poorly on the peril dice. So I'm going to take these and rearrange them in a way that I like, and then we will roll for damage. So first I'm going to resolve the dense bamboo ship. So what I do is I take 1 die, because that is equal to the danger level, and I roll it, and I'm looking for a blank space. If I roll the exclamation point, that means I'm in peril, and I will have to lose something on the right side of my ship. That is the starboard side for you navigational fans. And of course, I have the worst luck I can, so I'm going to lose a passenger, and I'm going to choose to lose this person here. We're going to set these at the top of the board as a lost passenger section.
And we don't know any information, so he's just guessing
Right.
at this point.
As we discover clues throughout the game when we move, we will have a little bit more. Because I rolled a 2 on the dice, I only have to resolve 2 events, so I'm going to choose to resolve this next one, the backside of water. It has a danger level of 1, so I'll also roll 1 die. And the note is, and now the 8th wonder of the world, the magnificent, the amazing, backside of water. And this one, if I roll a peril, I will lose something on the left side of my ship. So I roll 1 die equal to the danger level. And I got a blank there, so that's good. I don't lose anything on that side. And then I will discard my 4 cards.
So now it's my turn?
Yep.
Do you get... Oh, you didn't take your token because you had no space to put it.
Right. Just the 1 die.
Oh. So I move 3. 1, 2, 3. And I will draw 4.
Yep. Normally she could choose a lost and found token.
But I also have no space. Okay. So I need to choose 3 of these, and I have a lot of danger on my cards. So I'll choose the best option for myself with these 3.
Okay. So the first one she's going to resolve is Crash Landing. It has a danger value of 1. Here's where I live when I stay in the jungle. My friends say I should decorate it because it's a little plane. And it can cause damage to the stern of her ship. That's the back portion. So Melissa will roll 1 peril die.
Oh.
So she's going to lose 1 passenger on the back of her ship. So each passenger also has the symbol of the family that they belong to on it. Some passengers have 2 symbols, which makes them a little more important. But the 4 symbols are a lion's head, a Mayan temple, a ship's wheel, and a river. Also, on the back of these, it shows you which boat that they belong to. The starting 12 passengers will have that. If you find some lost passengers, they may have other things.
Okay.
So the next card that Melissa's going to resolve is the Baboon family. The Baboon family has a danger of 2. Let's move along. Monkey business can get hairy, and it also causes damage to the stern of her ship. So she's going to roll 2 peril dice.
Okay, that's better than last time.
And so she rolled 1 again, so she will lose another passenger on the back of her ship. And the third event that she is resolving is the Bull Elephants. This one's a lot of danger. She has to roll all 3 peril dice. You might want to use her warning flare here. Do you know how you can tell that these are African elephants? Because we're in Africa. And then this will cause damage to the port side of her ship.
So, but I don't have to choose to use my warning flare until I roll.
Right.
After
So
I've
you can
rolled.
choose after you've rolled to use your warning flare.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I think you have a special warning flare power.
Oh, my power is when you use your warning flare, instead of re-rolling peril dice, ignore all peril and do not discard any passengers or cargo for that peril.
So her skipper specialty is expedition. And normally when you use a warning flare, you would flip it over and you would re-roll your peril dice. But because hers is special, she actually gets to ignore them and then not discard anything. So it's basically a freebie. So she's going to flip her warning flare over to let us know that it's been used, and then she'll ignore the damage to her ship from that event. And so then we'll proceed to the next turn. It's back to my turn, and I'm going to roll the speed die. I can rearrange if I want to. I'm going to choose to move this lady over here just to make the right side of my ship a little better. And then I'm going to roll the speed die. I rolled a 1. I am a slowpoke, and I will go to the same space that Melissa is on, and then I will draw my 4 cards and take a lost and found token. So the lost and found token that I've gotten, I found a passenger. So some of the lost and found tokens will be cargo, and some of them are found passengers. If they're cargo, you just stow them on your ship, just like a passenger on one of the spaces. But because I found a passenger, I will discard this token, and I can choose one of our 3 lost passengers to place back on my ship. Now, I have no information about what family we're looking for, so I'm just going to choose, since there's 2 rivers up there, I'm going to take one of the rivers and place her back on my ship. And then we'll look and resolve one of my 4 cards. So I drew a special event this time. I know this one's going to be a little sideways, but the special event is called the Gentle Stream. It says pick up an extra lost and found token. We've turned onto the Nile, the longest river in the world. It goes on for Niles and Niles, and if you don't believe me, you're in denial. So because I flipped a special event, I have to resolve the special event. And it's the best one for me because the other 3 would all have me rolling peril dice.
But you have no choice. You have to always do the...
Right.
And you know they're special because they're horizontal instead of vertical.
Right, they're a different way. And so now I will be resolving the Gentle Stream. I can pick up an extra token. I'm going to choose not to use that one. I'm just going to keep the passenger that I got, and then I will discard these 4, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. 3, 1. Oh,
So
I got to an outpost.
Even though Melissa rolled a 3, she only goes 2 spaces and stops at the outpost. So there are 2 things you can do when you choose to stop, or when you have to stop at an outpost. You can choose to take one of the outpost's cargo. There are 3 types of cargo. And you can choose one of those to put on your ship. The cargo also gives you victory points at the end of the game, and they work sort of like set collection. So each complete set is worth a certain number of points, and then each incomplete set is worth less points. So she can choose one of those, or she can choose to take a lost passenger.
I don't know anything about the passengers, so I'm taking some bananas.
So she's going to put some bananas in her stern, and then...
I only moved 2 even though I rolled 3, so I'll draw 4 cards, but I'll only need to pick 2.
Right.
I did get a special event, so that needs to be done.
So the special event's going to happen first. It's called Carnivorous Vines. She's going to lose 1 passenger or cargo from the center of her boat. Last week, one of them reached into the back of the boat and pulled a woman right out. It was awful. Just before she disappeared, she said she was feeling fine.
I guess I will discard that one.
So we'll discard one of those.
Oh, I should have reloaded my warning.
Yep.
Because I'm an outpost. And I got very lucky, and I got Calm River.
So Calm River is another card that you can run into. It has no danger, which means you don't have to roll for it. And now we're on the Congo River, so let's see how far we can go. And as you see, there is no damage there, so she does not have to roll for that. And that was the 2 that you needed to resolve. So now it's back to my turn. Again, I do not need to rearrange because my boat's full, but I am probably losing people as we play. I move 2 spaces. I also arrive at the Congo. Because of my skipper specialty, because I stop at the outpost, I can take a cargo and rescue a lost passenger, but I have no space on my ship, so I'm not going to do that. And then I will draw my cards, navigation cards, and we'll see how lucky we are. So I'm going to choose Crash Landing. Crash Landing has a 1 danger level. Do you want to know how I became a Jungle Cruise skipper? I took a crash course. And if I take danger from the peril dice, I will take damage to the stern of my ship. I'm going to lose the river symbol that I gained just a little bit ago. And then I will resolve dense bamboo. It is also a 1 danger. Bamboo can grow 6 stories tall, although this bamboo looks about 7 stories tall, but that's a whole nother story. And if I take peril, I will lose the right side of my ship, the starboard side.
Hey y'all.
Yep.
So we're at 139, so I think we should kind of get to a stopping point here. So
Okay.
I will ask, thank you very much. I like all the little one-liners in there. And there is a sound issue that we'll need to figure out because I'm getting the sound through Teams and also through Restream.
Right.
So we'll have to figure out how to just make sure we mute the Teams one for the next time going forward.
Okay.
But Steve, Cassidy, feedback?
How about now? Is the sound better now that I muted?
Hello. Couple of notes. The Disney Parks version is slightly more expensive, so maybe don't give the price unless we're asked.
Okay.
It has fancier components, and that's why. It might be good to go over the different families and the symbols and the names before we talk about rearranging the boat, just so it's more clear as to why you might want to do that. So at the beginning, when you're not sure who might be the chosen family, it's better to keep the family members with 2 symbols in the middle of the boat.
Right.
And then later on, once you know more about who the chosen family might be, keeping those in safer areas. So just providing a little bit of insight and strategy there.
Right.
And then if we could refer to the families by their names rather than their symbols, that would be good.
Okay. I have to remember all the names.
Steve, did you have anything?
There you go.
Steve?
I see Steve on here. It's funny because it looks like he's not muted on my end, but I also don't hear him. So. Okay.
Well, Steve's been abducted by the aliens, I heard earlier.
I'll see. He did chat in the restream, so let's see if he's still here.
So I'll make sure and mute the teams when I jump in next time.
Sorry, I was running around looking for my copy of the game.
Okay. We were just wondering if you had a chance, if you had any feedback.
So, a couple notes. At the start, I know that everything's all set up and everything. If you can do a quick reveal of the backside of one of the characters and note that they go in the boat. I know you did it later on, but it means a little less once you're past that point.
Right.
So when you encounter the cards, best way to do it, and I believe, is decide mixed up or have a memory issue.
Okay.
It's a personal thing, so maybe not too important. But when you say that you have the worst luck in a game because you rolled poorly, it leads people to believe that the game is luck based and that you're going to lose even if you are more skilled at it.
Okay.
Try to avoid it if you can. I
Alrighty.
understand otherwise. It is a dice rolling game, so it's going to come up. And then, yeah, that was pretty much my feedback.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make notes and add those to our wall of text we have to remind us of things. And
Perfect. And Danny, did you have anything to add?
All good on my end.
Okay. And just from the sound standpoint, was it just because the sound was on Teams still, it wasn't muted, and that's why we were getting it on Teams and also on the restream?
right, I did not mute Teams, so
Oh,
that's my bad.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't need to do something with the live stream and that. Okay.
Is it okay if I stop the
Alright.
stream?